If Shopify is the body of your e-commerce business, Klaviyo's the heartbeat, connecting data, customers, and sales. But does every brand need Klaviyo? Let's talk about what's hype, what's legit, and how to know if Klaviyo's the right move for you. I'm Laryssa, and for nearly a decade with my agency Joya, I've been helping women-focused product-based e-commerce brands grow with more intention, creativity, and clarity. We ditch the marketing formulas that don't feel like you and build strategies that actually connect. Ever notice how every e-commerce brand seems to be talking about Klaviyo lately? It's like the industry's worst kept secret, the tool everyone swears by, but not everyone fully understands. Maybe you've wondered, is it really that good? Or is it just hype? This episode was inspired by my client, Doug Meadows from David Douglas Diamonds and Jewelry, who recently asked me that same question. He saw how much my team and I love using Klaviyo and wanted to know what makes it so special. And I realized I've never actually done a full episode explaining why. So today I'm getting into it. What Klaviyo is, why it's become such a powerhouse for e-commerce brands, when it makes sense to use it, and when it doesn't. All right, so what's up with Klaviyo and why is everyone talking about it? Let me start with the basics. Klaviyo is an email and SMS marketing platform built specifically for e-commerce. Think MailChimp, MailerLite, OmniSend, Constant Contact, or Brevo, but with Shopify baked right into in its DNA. Lately, Klaviyo has been calling itself a B2C CRM, which sounds a little corporate and confusing, right? What they really mean is Klaviyo is where your store data, customer behavior, and marketing messages finally live together under one roof. It gives you the power to act on what your customers are doing instantly and intelligently without needing to glue 5 different tools together. And the reason why brands love it and the real appeal is that plug and play Shopify integration. So when someone views a product, adds to cart, starts checkout, or buys, all of that data flows right into Klaviyo, ready to trigger automations without the help of a developer. And to me, all of that, the integration, is the most attractive feature of Klaviyo. And thanks to the seamless integration and the fact that all of this data is unified, flows or automations really have the power to drive revenue. So the abandonment, the browse, the post-purchase, replenishment, win-back, VIP, they're all pre-templated in Klaviyo if you want, and they're all customizable. But ultimately, because of the fact that it's synced to your e-commerce behavior, much better chance to drive revenue while you sleep. Segmentation also can be so powerful because of that integration with Shopify, because you can create segments of your audience, again, based on behavior, based on things like predicted customer lifetime value, product categories they have viewed, purchase cadence, a customer's discount sensitivity, all these kinds of like nitty-gritty details that you can dial into can help you, thanks to this micro segmentation, potentially make your campaigns feel really personal instead of more general spray and pray robotic approach. The reporting that Klaviyo has is really, at least for a marketer who, like me, who loves to dive into the data, it's really a kind of reporting that marketers dream about. You can see revenue per email, you can see revenue per flow, even track the performance by a customer segment. And it finally connects everything so that you can truly see the ROI of your email marketing. And I think that the first time or the first few times I used Klaviyo really with a client a few years ago is when I really fell in love with email marketing, to be honest, because I had used email marketing platforms before it. But the magic of the Klaviyo experience was more than ever before, I could see how the data connected to everything else, the full 360 view, and really, truly, for the first time, understand the power of the ROI that was coming from email marketing and how much of the total e-commerce revenue could be attributed to email. You can't see stuff like that with social media marketing. It's so hard to track back what kind of ROI social is driving you. It's even so hard with some other email marketing platforms to prove the value of the marketing effort. And so when I really started to see, wow, look at all this being attributed back to our Klaviyo efforts, I mean, that makes you feel as a marketer like you are achieving something, getting something done, that you can prove the value of the work. And that's when I truly first fell in love with email marketing. So I do credit Klaviyo for that. Also, Klaviyo, because they're this B2C CRM, this term that they have coined, it is truly all in one communication. So they have email marketing, they have SMS, automations, all of that lives side by side in one platform so that not only are timing and targeting all unified instead of being pieced together, but then you have all of that information tied to one customer profile rather than living in a few different platforms. So back to that B2C CRM thing, what does it really mean? I want to address this because Klaviyo has been using this term so much to market themselves, and I get questions about it a lot. I think it is confusing. If you've ever used a traditional CRM, like let's say HubSpot or Salesforce, which are commonly used in B2B sales interactions, you're probably picturing dashboards full of notes, deals being closed, communication and outreach that you had one-to-one with a customer. Klaviyo is not like that traditional CRM that you may be picturing. It's more like your e-commerce brain. It's listening to what your customers are doing, but then automatically syncing all of that information, unifying it, bringing a really holistic picture of your customer behavior. And then depending what you set up in there, like your automations, like your segments, it can then respond accordingly based on all of this data that's coming in. So instead of say in a B2B sales relationship, you might have a task note in your CRM that says, remember to follow up with John about that proposal. It's more like behind the scenes, what's happening is this person just bought earrings, wait 7 days, show them matching necklaces. Obviously, you have to set all of that up, but you're not in there manually reminding yourself, oh, I have to do this follow-up, like again, in a B2B relationship. It's all just happening behind the scenes. There's less manual tracking, and it's more focused on the full holistic customer experience. Before I get into how do you know if Klaviyo is the right call for your business, a really quick break to tell you about Joya, my agency. We partner with women-focused e-commerce brands to turn their email and SMS channels into true growth engines. Our clients typically see a 30 to 40% lift in revenue within the first 90 days. Visit joyjoya.com to see what we can do for you. All right, so how do you know if Klaviyo is the right call? First of all, you're on Shopify. This is really where Klaviyo shines. The integration with Shopify to Klaviyo just works. There's very little maintenance headaches. I mean, sometimes I have to go deal with product feed issues, but that is pretty few and far between. Once you set up the integration, I would say 90% of the time it just works. So that is one sign that Klaviyo might be a good fit for you. Also, you're ready to kind of just go beyond like an occasional newsletter send. You want to level up. and you're not already on Klaviyo, but you're doing some kind of email marketing and you're growing your list. So if you're really serious about the full, what they call life cycle in email marketing, that's all the automations, A/B testing, segmenting your audience, combining email and SMS, seeing all of the potential that these channels can get you, you are going to outgrow the more like newsletter only tools fast. And Klaviyo really lets you level up to what you can do with all of that. If you want those real revenue insights, like I was talking about before, this was the thing that originally made me fall in love, not only with Klaviyo, but with email marketing in general. So if you're tired of like duct taping what's in Google Analytics and Shopify, you got spreadsheets here, you got spreadsheets there, or maybe you don't even know really where to look to see what's performing, Klaviyo is going to give you the financial clarity for that channel, the email and the SMS, help you piece it all together, help you better understand that revenue aspect of your customer journey and let you see it very clearly. When is it not the best fit? If you're not selling online, Klaviyo is primarily built for e-commerce. So without that sales data flowing in, it's going to Klaviyo would be like buying a race car and then just leaving it parked all the time. If you're just sending occasionally and you have no goals to ramp that up, which I would say is not a good idea, but if that's okay, if you're choosing to do that and you're just testing the waters and you're trying to understand what email marketing can do for you, well, other platforms can cover most basics, even just Shopify email or whatever e-commerce platform you use. A lot of them have basic email. Squarespace has email. That will help you cover the basics until you're ready for something more sophisticated. I do want to talk about the subject of pricing, because one thing I hear a lot about Klaviyo is that it can be more expensive than other platforms. Yes, Klaviyo can be expensive once your list grows and gets really big and you have a lot of active profiles. But again, that's usually at the point where you've built a serious email program. And at that point, the expense may feel high, but usually at that stage, it is paying for itself many, many times over if you are doing it correctly. For small to mid-size lists, I would say the pricing is actually pretty comparable to any other solid email marketing platform that's even worth your time. The Klaviyo is so expensive thing is mostly a myth that people repeat without any context. The way I think about it, for me, email for e-commerce is and should be the most profitable marketing channel that you'll have out of your whole marketing strategy. Full stop. So if you're not willing to invest in the tool that powers it, you're basically saying that you're fine leaving money on the table. You get what you pay for. And if your business is e-commerce, Klaviyo is one of the few platforms that I think truly earns its keep. When you start seeing your flows driving consistent sales every week, that's when you realize Klaviyo is not a cost. It's an investment in a sales engine. Another question I get, isn't it complicated? All right, let's get honest about the learning curve here. I think a lot of people look at Klaviyo when they log in and they think, that looks kind of intense. And yes, it's a professional grade tool for email marketing. It's what the pros use. It's what our agency uses. But you don't have to master the whole thing overnight to get benefit from it. Just start with the basics. You're going to do your domain verification. You're going to create a few templates that are branded with your colors and logo, make a pop-up or other sign-up form so you can keep building your list and collecting emails, and then just start being a regular campaign sender. I was cruising Reddit because I was really curious to get kind of an unbiased take on Klaviyo, What do other people think of it? What do other e-commerce business owners think about it and how do they use it? And I saw this one really good piece of advice that I want to share with you. So, quote, start by ignoring most of the features and treat it at first like a basic email sender. Build your welcome flow, abandon cart, your post-purchase sequences using the templates that they provide. Replace the copy with your brand voice and let them run. You can add sophistication later once you see what actually drives revenue versus looking impressive in a dashboard. End quote. I really like that advice because you don't have to go like over engineering your email marketing from the start. Actually, I think that's a huge mistake that brands make when they start out with email marketing. So start simple, start with the basics, and as you grow, you'll naturally start thinking, oh, wouldn't it be cool if I could ... or I really want to add this, or I want to start segmenting more, or add this other kind of flow. 99% of the time, Klaviyo can do that thing. You just haven't explored that corner yet. I have been using Klaviyo for years, and I'm literally still learning new things about it every week. Me saying that should not make you scared. Like, I'm an expert and I'm still learning new things. Don't be scared of that. That's actually a good sign. It means that the reason I need to learn new things is because I am trying new ideas. I am trying to level up my clients. We're experimenting with new things. The good sign part of that is it means the tool can evolve with your needs. And also, what is okay and fine about that is I am never alone trying to learn these things or figure them out. And that's another thing I love about Klaviyo. The documentation is so surprisingly human and easy to digest and easy to read. If you Google anything like whatever XYZ question Klaviyo, the appropriate documentation will come up. Again, it's easy to take in. They have screenshots, they'll have videos. The steps are really clear. They don't use tech speak nonsense that's going to make you want to cry. And on top of that, their support chat team, I swear, is the best chat I have ever used of any tool that I have used online, not just email marketing tools. I've had support chat reps like record screen share videos for me to walk me through exactly what to do. They have like talked me down from so many stressful situations and always helped me find a way through. I have rarely needed to have anything be escalated, and I have never felt like, oh, we didn't figure this out together. It's like an extension of your email marketing team. So that is another amazing thing to make you feel more confident about being on the platform, even if it might feel quote unquote hard. If you are still window shopping for alternatives and you're not quite sure, there are other options. OmniSend is one that has Shopify integration. It's a good choice for Shopify e-commerce stores that want to just try something different. MailerLite is an email platform that we use with some of our clients, especially who sell on Squarespace. MailerLite has a really great Squarespace e-commerce integration. Brevo is another tool that you can try out. So these are some if you want to just like experiment to see what you like and what feels comfortable for you. But basically, this is how I would break it down. If you're on Shopify and serious about lifecycle marketing, I would say go Klaviyo. If you're not on Shopify, then try something like MailerLite or OmniSend, which will give you similar functionality. I think I can really go on and on about the things I love about Klaviyo, but overall, of course, I'm a marketer, and maybe you're listening and you don't consider yourself a marketer, but I think this is important to know. It feels like Klaviyo was built by people who get marketing, and then they designed that to be a marketer's like dream, an email marketer's dream, rather than it being designed by programmers or engineers who were just guessing at what marketers might need. And then, two, as I said, if something breaks or confuses you, that support team is not just some AI bot that's giving you some generic advice. They're actually jumping in and saying, like, let's solve this together. I think that's also what has enabled me to learn so much about Klaviyo and even deepen and expand my own email marketing experience. Because when I have an idea or something I'm trying to achieve, I don't ever have to just figure it out alone. And I think that kind of partnership is something you can't put a price on. Of course, all this being said, Klaviyo is not some magic bullet for your e-commerce business. Just by migrating to Klaviyo alone, that's not going to make your e-commerce store booming and successful. It's really just helping you bridge the gap between the data and the human connection. So it's going to be the tool that turns your customer behavior into communication that actually converts. So if you're on Shopify and you want your email and SMS to drive consistent, measurable growth, I would say Klaviyo is the choice. If you're still early in your journey, you're figuring out email marketing, you are experimenting with it, start smaller, get comfortable, and then graduate to Klaviyo when you're ready. Big shout out to Doug. Thank you again for sparking this topic idea. I'm surprised I haven't done an episode like this sooner. So thanks again. That's it for today's episode. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe and leave a review. It helps others find the show. And remember, if you want to grow your e-commerce brand with email and SMS that actually drives sales, visit joyjoya.com to see how we can help. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and check out my other videos for even more tips.